It's live. Yeah, sorry about that. Just saving your earphones, your ears, so your eardrums are busted. Now, Coach, I want to jump on one thing real quick. We really need the Bearcat crowd. I think one thing about it is a great thing. The Bearcat Football Club, always on the hill, but sometimes I'm a recovering Methodist, and sometimes the Bearcat crowd can act like Baptists and sit on their hands. Really need the Bearcat fans to be loud this Friday night versus the West Monroe Rebels.
Yeah, I think that's an all-the-time thing at home, and I think for the most part our crowd does a really good job of supporting our kids, and I think our kids notice that and acknowledge that. And I think whenever I first took over as the head coach here, we've come a long way in what it is that our crowd has done and how they've reacted. And there's just sometimes whenever the other team's trying to do something in their own offense, like we need to cheer really loud and try to disrupt some of what it is they've got going on. And anytime our guys have the ball and we're trying to communicate and do some things as far as what we're trying to get done offensively, sometimes it's good to be quiet. And you just have to learn how to be a fan and what it is you're supposed to do. But I think, for the most part, our fans do a really good job. We're glad to have them and really appreciate them showing up for the ball games.
Point blank, it's a big game versus the West Monroe Rebels. We're not going to go over the fact that you defeated them 3 years in a row after a 30-year drought of defeating the West Monroe Rebels. But bottom line, what's at stake? A district championship. And really, I think more importantly, you're right, a state championship is more important than a district championship. And you are right on your timeouts, except for they don't carry over into the next game like I think you think they do. But bottom line, how important is it for your team to assure that bye to get healthy for the playoff run?
Well, to me, that's the biggest thing. I think, and I've talked about it with our kids, is this is a big ball game in the respect that we need to win this ball game to ensure that we're going to get a bye in the first round, because that's what's best for our football team. And it doesn't have anything to do with the district championship. It doesn't have anything to do with beating West Monroe or who the other team is. If this ball game against whoever it is ensured that we were going to be having a bye next week and be at home for all of the playoffs, then it would be that important for whoever it is we're playing. And it just so happens to be West Monroe, which is somebody that most people in Ruston don't like. And so, yeah, that adds a little more to it. But at the end of the day, like, what's best for our football team is to win, to get the bye, to ensure we're at home for the entire playoff run until it's time to go to the Superdome, because that's what's best. And if we win a district championship because of it, then that's going to be great. That'll be like the cherry on top. But at the end of the day, you're trying to get to the ice cream. That's what you're trying to get to.
Well, you shouldn't like West Monroe either, because when you were quarterbacking the West Washita Chiefs, they stole all your playmakers and they went to West Monroe.
And that is true. That's what really started their run. In fact, if you want to bring that up,
I do.
Their entire secondary, I played football with whenever we were coming through junior high. Michael John Leonard and David Cole and Chess Hill and all of those guys, they all went to Calhoun with me and ended up at West Monroe. And, but that's part of what they chose to do. And, if they feel good about that, which I guess, they do. I wanted to do something different and stay where it is that I'm at. That's why, you feel like I'm a hard-headed guy. I got asked to go, but I wanted to stay where it is that I was at.
I interrupt you one more time so you guys can enjoy another shot. You don't regret that decision?
Absolutely not. I feel like, to me, being from there, that's what I was staying with the guys that I grew up with, and I wanted to make West Washita as successful as what I could, and I feel like that's probably been the most successful that they've ever been. And I take pride in that, and I know that probably don't mean much to many people, but to me, it is what it is. And to do that, and to leave and go do something different than what those other guys. That's what they chose to do. I mean, I chose to do what I chose to do, and they chose what they chose to do, and that it is what it is. I don't know who's right and who's wrong.
Well, you're right. I mean, bottom line,
no, I don't know.
You stayed there. No, you stayed and went to the school that you were zoned for.
I don't think that necessarily makes me right. It's what I chose to do, and you know, I don't think anybody can fault me for that, and I don't fault them for that. But it wasn't the guys that necessarily were supposed to go to that school that made all of that happen. I'll just leave that.
You're kind enough. You're getting soft. I'm going to tell you, no, they went. They left you guys high and dry, and you had to play without them. And so what was your record your senior year?
You know, I don't remember. I mean,
oh, wait a minute. Everybody remembers their record, their football record, their senior year.
I do not remember. We went to the playoffs. West Washita had never been to the playoffs, and then won a playoff game the next year, and they've never done that. And so, you know.
So you're not mad at those guys. You're not mad at those guys for leaving you one bit.
Around here, I know that doesn't mean much as far as like making the playoffs or winning a playoff game. A lot of people, and I try to tell our kids all the time, they take for granted the things that we have been able to accomplish here. And some places that stuff is just not what your goals are. Sometimes you tap out with what it is that you have, and you maximize what your team can do. And sometimes it may be the second round. Sometimes it may be the third round. But I think that what it is you try to accomplish on a yearly basis is trying to maximize what that team can do. And I think that's where that comes from with me. And it's what I strive to do with our football team, and that's why it aggravates me so much with these guys sometimes. And I try to translate that to them, is that there's times whenever I see some wasted talent and some wasted effort according to what it is that they expect out of themselves, and that makes it really aggravating for me, because I've been around a program before growing up that didn't have the luxury of having a lot of the players that we have here. And so I think that's kind of what the dynamic has been that has made us successful.
It really drives you. I tell you what, appreciate it, Coach. A big one Friday night. We want everyone in attendance at Hoss Garrett Stadium as the Bearcats host the West Monroe Rebels. A lot at stake, Coach. A district championship, a bye in the playoffs. We want to see everyone out at Hoss Garrett Stadium Friday night.
Thank you, and I'll save a few more timeouts.
All right. Hey, appreciate you joining us at Sundown Tavern. We'll be back next Tuesday for Ruston Bearcats Live with head coach Jared Ball. Thank you for joining us.